YouTube, what's crack-a-lackin'? It's your boy Powered on Diamonds coming back to you with a banger. Let's talk about this YNW Melly case on the way, and make sure you will smith that like button. Smash that like button. It's free. It supports the content, and I do appreciate that. I'm going to be reviewing Cuff Boys video. If you don't know the video, it's linked in the video description below. Cuff Boys don't strike the channel. I'm a big fan. He's putting out a lot of good content, and I have some constructive criticisms on his video. Let's hop right into it.
And such negligence was the legal cause in whole or in part of his death. Bro basically just said that Christopher Thomas, YNW Juvie, died because he was being negligent, and it wasn't anyone's fault but his. YNW Melly is currently facing the death penalty at trial, but if you didn't know, he is also being sued for millions of dollars by the families of the victims. Today we're going to read some of the details of the two lawsuits to get a better understanding of the case.
So one thing important right here is YNW Melly's family is suing for millions and tens of millions of dollars. And in the comments section, I don't know about y'all, but I love reading YouTube comments. They're really funny. They're really toxic sometimes. But right here, this guy says a good point. He says, not a lawyer, but just wanted to chime in. The civil case and the criminal case are mutually exclusive, meaning YNW Melly's family suing for money is totally separate than YNW Melly's murder trial. They can both have the same outcome. They can both have different outcomes. To highlight an old famous case, which most of y'all probably know, O.J. Simpson was found not guilty criminally, but he was found guilty civilly, right? So YNW Melly, he could get off of this murder charge, and he could just be after paying some civil fines.
The trial starts back up on July 10th, so I'll be doing the recaps every day. Quick plug, follow me in Threads too right now. Cam Haller on Threads, let's get it.
Dude, F that app. No, we're Team Elon Musk. We ain't Zuckerberg. Hell no.
Leandra Phillips, individually and personal representative of the estate of Christopher Thomas, so Juvie's mother, I believe. Individually.
Did anyone in this case, man, y'all been listening to how they call YNW Melly Jamel Demons? You don't pronounce this word right here as demons. That's demons, not demons. Demons would have two M's. EM is an E sound. Demons. But this whole lawsuit, trying to paint YNW Melly, we make him wear long neck shirts all the time to cover up the tattoo he has of his dead homie's mom on his neck. We change his last name. The manipulation at its finest.
And personal representative of the estate of Christopher Thomas, so Juvie's mother, I believe. First, Jamel Demons, Cortland Henry, 100K Track, Trayvon Glass, Jacoby Mills. I don't know why all the guys that are in the red car are involved in this. I guess we're going to read why they're involved in this. Plaintiff alleges that this is an action in excess of the amount required for jurisdiction of this court of $50,000, exclusive of interest, costs, and attorney fees. In fact, damages are in the millions or tens of millions of dollars or more. Tens of millions? I'm all for these families getting some money if this is, you know, how it goes down.
I mean, the damages are totally in the tens of millions. You think this lawsuit's been going on 5 years. YNW Melly was doing songs with Kanye West. 5 years of income for someone who's a superstar in the biggest genre of music in the world? That's easy tens of millions. I don't know if you guys know how much these artists make, but just off streaming, concerts, merch. I think YNW Melly had some pretty successful merch. 10 million is a small amount. It's been 5 years. Don't forget that.
But tens of millions of dollars. Factual allegations. So
Easy tens of millions.
An allegation.
Easy.
Which one is it? Jamel Demons, Cortland Henry, Christopher Thomas, and Anthony Williams were acquaintances and conducted business together as rap collective YNW. The defendants identified above were managed by the defendant Jameson Francois, 100K Track. Defendant Francois benefited and continues to benefit directly and indirectly from the actions committed by defendant Francois in connection with the death of Christopher Thomas. Okay.
So this is when they start to go at 100K Track. This is YNW Melly's manager. Okay. And a lot of people think this guy 100K Track's a snake. I'm not going to speak on him. I don't know him. I haven't done all the investigations on him. But here in the lawsuit, they're arguing that 100K Track is benefiting a lot from this situation Melly's in.
Let's see what they say about how he's benefiting, I would imagine, just through the music. As music is still being made by the defendant Demons and other surviving members of the YNW rap group,
said, it's
defendant
Demons, bro.
uses the events and circumstances of the death of Christopher Thomas Jr. to promote new music videos, ongoing notoriety of surviving members of YNW, and the group of YNW itself, in part by the use of the hashtag #FreeMelly.
So they're arguing that just because they put hashtag #FreeMelly in all the videos they've been putting out, YNW B-Slime, Melly's little brother, whenever he drops music and he's kind of blown up during this lockup of Melly, they always put hashtag #FreeSlime or #FreeMelly. And this is just boomers not understanding social media. A hashtag is not some massive profit generator. Yeah, it can influence certain niches of content, but this argument to me, it just looks like out of tune older people that don't really understand social media technology trying to argue that based off the use of hashtag free Melly, you're generating revenue. What?
They're saying they're profiting off the deaths by using the hashtag free Melly. I don't know if the use of the hashtag free Melly to bring over this team to just say, well, that song was made years beforehand, it wouldn't make sense. As artists from the collective group YNW achieved success, they drew the attention of record labels interested in signing them to a deal. With continued financial gain and notoriety and prospects of more, tensions began to develop between members of the YNW group. Prior to the shooting, defendant Jamal Demon's mother, defendant Jamie King, exchanged words with Anthony Williams Sack Chaser. So this is talking about the video about Melly's mom saying, I'm saying, like, who the f you ever robbed, who the f you ever shot at, who the f you ever did.
Pause this. Melly's mom and Sack Chaser definitely had a beef. And Melly's mom, I don't know her, right? I'm probably speaking out, but you're watching this video for entertainment purposes. You want me to speculate. She puts herself out here on these news broadcasts as a very calm, collected, nice woman who likes to take her kids on picnics and go on fishing trips. She's really with the shits. She's really gang. Look at this. She was texting Sack Chaser. I'm saying, like, who the F you ever ROB? Nice Miss Melly on TV. Who the F you ever rob? Ninja? Who the F you ever SOHT at? Who the F you ever did? What's did mean? Think I got an idea, folks. So this woman ain't what she's all plastered up to be. She ain't your female Michelangelo of Chicago. Okay? This woman is a demon. Look no further than her last name.
And you couldn't take a weed charge if you don't sit your pussy ass down. Alright, I'm gonna have to bleep a lot, dude. My credentials is real. So that's just, yeah, we've all seen that video. Defendant Jamal Demons was seated in the left rear seat of the vehicle rented by defendant Hunter K. Francois, shot Christopher Thomas Jr., who was seated next to him, in the side of his head after Christopher Thomas slumped over to his left. Defendant Jamal Demons and Courtney Henry changed clothes and staged a drive-by shooting, destroyed evidence of their crime, and manufactured evidence to support the staged drive-by when they shot multiple times into and around the Jeep. In their efforts to cover up the crime, Jamal Demons and Courtney Henry left the body of Christopher Thomas Jr. riddled with bullets. Jamal and Cortland concocted a story to thwart law enforcement investigative efforts. Trayvon Glass, Jacoby Mills, Adrian Davis, Deontay Withers, and Frederick Givens, together and individually, provided the same false or misleading information to law enforcement.
So I just want to pause right here. Think about this, right? You and your boys, you're in the car, you left the studio, you get shot up in a drive-by, right? And then it's proven forensically. Men lie, women lie, forensics don't fucking lie. They don't lie, okay? So it's proven that all these guys were like, yeah, we got drive-by'd up, our homies got shot. It's proven it's been a lie. I don't need to tell you any more information. If you're an investigator, that's weird. You're covering for someone or you did it? That's what I think. I hope whoever gets innocence deserves innocence. I'm not saying this man's guilty or innocent, but when you say, oh, we got shot up by a different car, right? I was driving by, but then it turns out the shots came from the back seat of your car, right? And there's all this drama in between the fingers that we didn't really get to be privy to. I mean, bro, have you heard the saying, if it smells like a fish, it looks like a fish, it swims like a fish, it's a fucking fish?
Oh, so that's why they're in the lawsuit, because they are accusing them of lying to law enforcement to, obviously not snitch on Melly. According to the state of Florida, defendant Jamal Demons admitted to shooting the two individuals in the head in a video on his cell phone. There's no regret for the shit I did. Okay, so that was pretty much proven in court.
And to me, sorry to interrupt again one more time. The most incriminating thing is watch the video. Don't leave my video yet. It's almost done. Watch the video. YNW Melly, at the day that this shit happened, right? He lost his two best friends. He should be very sad, right? And people filmed him at a music video acting all happy, like elated, bro. Come here, guys. Imagine your two best friends died. You don't have any friends? Okay, imagine your mom and dad died. Or your dog and your cat if you don't have parents. I don't care. Imagine two things that you care about died. Really cared about them. The same day that happens, are you just going to be out and about with the homies, jumping around, acting excited, hyped up? Looking like it looked like he just dropped a #1 Billboard hit, a chart topper. But nah, His best friends were killed that day, and I don't know, man. I'm not trying to be a psychic or something, but when I see things like that, that's almost more telling than any other information. Like, you're either a psychopath or you have no empathy. Your two best friends died. How are you showing these vibrant, excited, happy emotions? I wouldn't, like, anyone that has a heart and cared about those people would not be able to express that elation that you expressed. All right. So if you want to see that YouTube YNW Melly video celebration the day they died or something like that, I'm not sure exactly.
By Melly's team recently that wasn't a confession. And I've seen that headline for years too, which is crazy. So for years, we've thought that there was a video behind the scenes that was a confession saying he shot 2 people in the head and did this, when that video just turned out to be lyrics to a Kevin Gates song. So it's clearly not a confession. Defendants Jameson Francois and Jamie King were involved in the cover-up to a varying degree, including hiding evidence, perpetuating the myth and story offered by the defendants, and more. Positioned to profit financially and continue to profit financially from same in part by using the hashtag Free Melly to promote new music, new videos, and boost the career of Jamal Demon's younger brother, YNW Slime. Free Melly isn't really the profiting part, in my opinion. Like, what the fuck? I think it's just because they're putting that in the title of videos, maybe.
Yeah, I'm gonna skip this. I already kind of touched on this.
Stardom. So obviously, this is a thing. We're already on the rise, rap artists, into further stardom. So obvious Demons of Cortland Henry, who are already on.
Sorry, I was muted. The argument they're making here is that when YNW Melly had this event happen, he was already doing songs with Kanye West. He was already going straight vertical. He was probably like the top tier of a rap artist. Like, you can't really argue more influential than that. He's doing songs with Kanye. But they're arguing that by the death of his 2 friends, all these articles, all this media that came out, all this bad publicity actually helped his career. Now, I don't know if I'm really buying into that, but that's the argument they're trying to make.
On the rise, rap artists into further stardom. So obviously this is a thing in rap where terrible things like this happen. There's a bunch of articles written about it, and then people find out who these artists are through this terrible event. These people are basically saying that Melly, Cortland Henry, and a track planned to kill these 2 guys to blow up murder. It would have been one of the worst murders of all time if this was a planned thing for weeks or something. Made it sloppy of a murder. It would have been one of the worst murders of all time if this was a planned.
See, I think it was one of the worst murders of all time because I don't think YNW Melly is that smart, bro. I think honestly he's a genius at making music. He has a good voice. He found his calling. But I think he actually, guys, imagine this. You come from nothing. You come from rags. You go to riches. How old was YNW Melly when this happened? 18, 20? Like, he's a young kid, right? Probably had $10 million at least. Multi-millions at that time, right? Once you pop off like that level in the music industry, the money comes quick. He had a big deal. He had Kanye West features. You know, the label's not putting a Kanye West feature on your song if you ain't shit. I think you develop a little bit of a God complex, right? You think, like, wow, I'm 20 years old. I've conquered more of this world than 99.99% of men that have come before me. That's the truth. At age 20, for someone like Melly to have his kind of power and influence, people don't touch those kinds of power and influence. And I think that corrupts his mind. And so I think he actually was dumb enough to think he could have done this shit and got away with it because of how on top of the world he was. Yeah, I mean, they all did drugs, right? But that in and of itself, being on top of the world, having that kind of money, fame, and influence at such a young age, that's a drug in and of itself. Bars.
Planned thing for weeks or something. Made it so obvious coming from his angle of the car seat. Like, there's just no way he's that dumb. It was also discovered that Jamie King, via social media, were engaged in an effort to interfere and divide the group. Actions which encourage or motivated defendants Jamal Demons to ultimately kill the decedents. I haven't seen any like social media messages between Melly and Bortland or anyone in the trial yet that shows that they were like, fuck Sack Chaser and Juvie, we're splitting up. Like, I haven't seen any of that. But there is apparently messages between Sack Chaser and Melly fighting, but we haven't seen that either. All the defendants named stood to gain professionally and financially from the type of publicity and increased celebrity. Both have been criminally charged for the deaths. Jamie King receives money from defendant Jamal Demons for support and paid for her lifestyle. Obviously, it's its fucking mother. Like 99% of rappers do that. Defendants 100K track stand to benefit from defendants Jamal Demons, Cortland Henry, by receiving a cut of profits Obviously, yeah, he takes probably a percentage for his management fee. Jamal Demons would ultimately sign a record deal with YSL Records. Stardom has significantly increased following his indictment on double murder charges stemming from his songs Murder on My Mind breaking through top 15 songs in Billboard Hot 100. So I feel like this is a tricky argument for them to pull, that Murder on My Mind's success is solely based off the killing of his two best friends, because that's...
No, that's dumb as fuck. That's dumb as shit, bro. Anyone that was around in the music industry when Murder on My Mind came on, the way that Murder on My Mind went so viral, it was such a violent song. I wake up in the morning, I got murder on my mind. AK-47 and Glocks and 9s. I look into his body and it said it's time to die. Like, it's a violent ass song on a peaceful beat. That's why it went viral. And Melly's a good artist. You got to give Melly his laurels too. But it's not like people were retroactively looking back on Murder on My Mind. That song was a hit when it came out. How is that hard to argue?
The song was already popping in 2018 before the murders, so that's gonna be very hard to do that.
Thank you.
But obviously some views and streams came from that over the years. So it says Cortland Henry failed to call or otherwise notify emergency personnel as soon as it was apparent that Christopher Thomas had sustained life-threatening injuries by failing to seek...
That is sus, bro. When your best homies maybe in different cultures it's different, but when someone I love just got fucking blasted, I'm probably gonna call the police ASAP and get emergency services there while I try and drive them there, right? He didn't do that. They drove around in loops with dead bodies in the car of men they loved, allegedly, right? Your best friend is dead in this chair next to you, and you ain't going straight to the hospital? Fucking cap.
Immediate medical attention to a hospital or other urgent care by not immediately taking Christopher Thomas to a hospital while knowing his life was in jeopardy. Wait, hold on. Some of this...
Bro, these guys are guilty, man. Let me know if you disagree with me in the comment section below. I really am curious on your opinions. I'm not saying I'm right. It's just my opinion. And if you have a different opinion, I respect it.
Says that a year ago, back in June 2022, Melly's mom showed up to Mr. Demon's status conference at the Broward County Courthouse without a mask. When the prosecutor mentioned this to the court, Miss King snuck out of the building. Apparently she was out partying all weekend or something, celebrating passing nursing exam. In light of the evidence provided, Miss King clearly seemed to have faked a COVID diagnosis in order to avoid appearing for her court-ordered deposition. It is also clear that Miss King's attorney has exhausted every opportunity to try to avoid producing her for a deposition.
So YNW Melly's mom faked COVID to not go on the stand, I guess. Kind of based.
So here's an article. YNW Melly sued for millions by families of the murdered YNW members. In a wrongful death such as this, no amount of money will make the family whole.
Yeah, so that's all I got for you guys. Hope you enjoyed the video. I might do more of these. I don't know. If this gets more than like 10 likes, maybe 100 views, I'll do another one. But yeah, people seem to like to listen about this case, and I've been watching the case. It resumes on the 10th in 3 days. So yeah, man, I'm not going to say free Melly because I don't know if he's innocent. If he's guilty, keep that motherfucker locked up for life. All right, amen. God bless you all. Take care of yourselves.